This podcast is rated R for restricted. Under 17 requires accompanying parent or adult guardian.
Mission 250.
Okay, and
All right.
we're good.
John, you going?
No.
I'm glad I checked. Aren't you glad I checked after 200?
All right, I'm going. I'm going.
Welcome to the Mission 250 Filmcast, where we are watching the best movies ever made, according to IMDb, sometimes. And then sometimes we watch the Cornetto trilogy, which we just did.
Yeah.
If you don't know what this is Edgar Wright's kind of, I don't even know what you'd call it. It's kind of a weird comedy trilogy that doesn't really have any through lines except for some beer themes, some
And
fence
his buddies.
jumping.
Made some movies
and-
with his buddies.
Yeah. and
Just
they're all
hanging
friends,
with his
I
buddies.
guess. But so yeah, this one is the 2013 movie The World's End, directed by Edgar Wright and written by Edgar Wright and Simon Pegg. The synopsis is 5 friends who reunite in an attempt to top their epic pub crawl from 20 years earlier, unwittingly become humanity's only hope for survival. And I got with me John and TC as always.
Yep. Professionals.
Yeah.
That's what we are.
Something like it. Close.
Oh, you see, I edit myself. I can edit that. See,
Every day
so
is
did
a
you?
close a day.
So you sounded like you. So you
so I
sound
didn't-
like you can read
so I
a
can read.
sentence.
So I can read.
Yeah.
So that's why I chose to be the editor.
That's like. Do they have that? It's like auto tune, but like auto basic English ability.
Yeah, it's the AI. It's Grammarly for speaking.
Remove anytime you repeat the same
Right.
thing right in a row.
Right. Exactly.
Remove
Yep,
all,
yep,
all
yep,
the
yep, yep.
and ahs and stutters.
Yeah. Oh,
But
that'd
you
be
probably
nice.
adjust like, let's see, I'm going to make John look this stupid. Like you just set the level, stupidity. It's just like, it's,
Like
you just
levels.
set it there.
Yeah, levels
Yeah.
say stupid on it. Right. Yeah.
Right. It says one
Yep.
is stupid. The other is annoying. You can just
Yep.
turn that up or down.
No,
Kinda get a
Denny
good
just
balance.
puts himself like 2 dB higher than everybody else, so
Yeah,
he sounds bigger. You know?
Oh, yeah. And I center myself. You guys are 5 degrees to the left
yeah,
and
we're
right.
left to the right.
That's
We're
right.
left to the right
Well-
because we're just ancillary.
Exactly.
You know,
Yeah,
we're on the
you're
edges.
the host. You're in charge. So it's okay.
You know what happens when you do all the work, people? You get to mix it however you want.
That's
Exactly. Yeah, you think that's a good thing, but really it just comes with a lot of work. Is what it
Yeah,
does.
it's
Yeah.
a shitload of work.
Yeah. He owns it, though.
getting
He's an owner.
Yeah.
He's an owner. Yeah, right. I mean, and you know what happens when you're like me? You don't, do your homework like you're supposed to and watch the commentary. And you know why? You know why you don't watch commentary? Because you didn't like the movie.
Oh.
And you can see why
Oh.
people did not like this movie.
What?
This movie was awful.
Oh, are you kidding?
You got- I can't believe you liked this.
I
was
think
watching
this
and
one's the
being
best
like,
one out of all
I know
three of
he
them.
likes this, and he's like, and I was sitting
Uh-oh.
there like, I didn't laugh. I didn't find it funny. I thought Simon Pegg's character is stupid. It's also like not something when you're sober that you want to watch, like a bunch of people running around the bar and shit.
That's also true.
Yeah. And it was like it just like I don't know. I didn't find any of it to be that entertaining, to be honest. And like the zombies was stupid. And like we already watched it with.
They're not zombies. They're
the other
alien
ones.
robots, TC. God
Yeah,
damn
they're
it.
alien robots, but they might as well be zombies. And I don't know. It's just, instead of red, it was blue, and
Yeah.
I didn't. The storyline sucked. The woman from Care a Lot in Gone
Yeah,
Girl.
Care a
I
Lot,
never
yeah.
liked her, so I immediately hate that. Just because of that
That's
fucking
true.
movie Gone Girl.
Just because of Gone Girl. Yeah.
She's
Well,
doomed
she
forever.
doesn't. It's hard to see her as like just sort of generally charming or likable just because of those dark characters she plays. I mean,
right.
that
Right.
speaks to how well she played it.
Sure.
But yeah.
But
Does
that
it?
doesn't mean I like her.
I mean,
Maybe.
it doesn't speak very well on how she played this character, if that's the case.
I know. But,
That's true.
yeah.
So I'm not like 100% awfully negative. Like it was like an easygoing movie that you don't really need to like pay attention to. I mean, that doesn't sound good, but I don't know. I just I didn't. So I watched it and I was just like, there's fucking no way I'm watching this commentary.
Oh.
Because I didn't want to watch the damn movie again.
That's fair.
That's right.
I mean, again, there's no good information in the commentary, so you know.
Yeah,
miss
I
anything.
didn't think I didn't miss anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do like the fact that it's Simon Pegg and he's, doing things with his buddies, it would seem, right?
Yep.
I mean, I think that's funny and I think that's fun. I just don't know if like I needed to. And maybe it was just because I watched the other two. So like we're on this kick with the three of them and it's hard
Mhm.
because honestly, they seem to get worse as we went. You know what I mean? Not better. So like the
Yeah.
first one knocked it out of the park. Second one was like, nah, okay. And the third one was just like, what the fuck is this? So like I think if we had watched it 3, 2, and 1, It would have been a much
Maybe it would have been better.
different-
Maybe
yeah,
you're right. Maybe
yeah.
actually,
No,
you know
they
what?
call that
That's-
the reverse cornetto. That's what.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's,
do they really? Is that a?
Yeah, it's when you eat the strawberry flavor first. Most people leave
That's
that for
right.
last because it's the worst.
Yeah.
But if you eat it
It's
first,
like, no, but,
Yeah,
no, or you
right.
just eat it from the cone tip up to the top, which is crazy.
Ah, yeah,
It makes a
yeah,
big
yeah,
mess.
yeah. But it
But
does
who
make
knows?
it better. You know,
Could be genius. Like,
yeah. You
my
just
son
end up with
Alex
ice cream
eats
everywhere.
his pizza backwards and insists on it. And
Yeah.
and I've never seen anybody eat pizza backwards. But this is
No,
what he
me
does.
either. But
you ever
that's an
got stuffed
interesting
crust
thing.
pizza? You eat that crust first, man. Tastes better.
That's a good point.
This is not stuffed crust, but really, I guess with stuffed crust, maybe.
Well, I
you do,
guess
right?
this
Even with
trilogy is stuffed
I don't
crust,
eat stuffed crust
you know.
first. Do you eat stuffed crust first?
Yeah,
I
no,
honestly don't remember because I haven't had stuffed crust in like 20-something years, probably.
I know. That's like Pizza Hut. If you don't get it, I don't know who else has it, but yeah.
So
unless you're buying
yeah,
Pizza Hut.
I don't know. I mean,
Trying to make some conversation here because I think this will be short.
You know, there's a lot of in
Oh
the
no,
first
John!
hour,
What do you think, John?
Yeah, the first
You like it
hour,
either?
for Christ's sake, the first hour was like nothing, and you don't even know what the movie's about for the first hour. And then it goes to a whole different movie in the second hour.
Yeah. Well,
And it's like, I just watched all that build up for a fucking zombie movie.
Robot,
So-
alien.
Yeah, robot,
robot,
whatever. I
aliens.
mean, those were kind of funny jokes. Those were kind of funny jokes. I laughed a
Yeah.
couple times at the robot stuff
Yeah.
because they were getting drunk. But like, I don't know. I just didn't find this one to be
The
better
fight
than the
scenes
other
were.
two.
I like the fight scenes. I thought the fight scenes had some good choreography.
When he just bum rushed the twins, that was fun.
Yeah.
when
Right?
she
Because
puts
he
the
just
legs in
came
her
out of
arms.
nowhere. Yeah, he just came
Yeah,
out of nowhere
yeah.
and then just got the legs in his arms. I mean, again, I wasn't like, I just think that the previous two were better. And I think that's probably why most people did, right? Because it didn't do as well in
this
the box
one,
office.
this one,
either,
no,
right?
this one made more money. This was
Oh, it
like,
did?
oh yeah, this one was more
Oh,
successful
weird.
Then
by
what?
quite a ways than Hot Fuzz.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah,
I thought
No.
I thought it was the least successful out of it.
I thought it made more money than Hot Fuzz.
No, this one made 46 million. Hot Fuzz made like 80 million or something like that.
See. The people have spoken, John.
Oh, really?
I
Really?
know. Let's get the other review. Let's get Denny going because Denny loves
Go,
this
Denny.
movie.
Well,
Let's
John,
be
let's keep it negative while you can because I feel so alone.
What?
I thought you guys were like, I don't know how you don't like this movie. Yeah, Hot Fuzz
Yeah.
made 80.7 million. So
Right,
my theory
okay.
on that is that Hot Fuzz wasn't that good. People say they liked Hot Fuzz, but then they weren't really excited for a third one. That's why they didn't show up for the third one.
Oh, you think it was really sort of
Yeah. I mean, trilogies always make more money as long as the movies consistently
get
gain
better.
in quality. Yeah.
yeah.
So they
Shaun of
should've
the Dead
won
was
the
awesome.
opposite.
Everyone went to go see Hot Fuzz, and then no one went. I mean,
Yeah,
way
so
less
I'm
people
thinking
went to go
Shaun
see
of the
this one.
Dead. Shaun of the Dead was the best one by far.
I
you
like
don't
this
think
one
so?
better.
You think
I like this
No
one better.
way.
Yes, I do.
Shaun-
how is
that's
that
great.
possible? The jokes are so much better in that Shaun of the Dead than this one.
Yeah.
I don't know. I like
you know what
the-
it is?
I like the
I don't
characters
like the
better
character.
in this one. I like the
I don't like
characters.
the character
in
in
this
this one. I think he's
one. Okay.
annoying.
I think Gary King is the
Maybe
best
that's
character
what
in
it
the
is.
trilogy. Easily.
Oh, no way.
Yeah. I love the way he plays it. I love it how pathetic he is. I love it how like you can see him lying really well. Like when he tells Nick Frost's character that his mother's dead, and he's
that was
acting like his
fucked up.
mother actually is dead.
And then he guilt trips him
doing it as
into
the
all
character.
sorts of shit.
Yeah. It's great. I think
Yeah.
that stuff is great. Like he's such a fucked up person that he's
Now,
like
Nick Kroll, right, is the other guy?
Nick Frost.
Nick Frost. He did worse in this one too. His character was worse. It just wasn't as funny. Like the
it
character
wasn't as funny
itself
until they all
wasn't as
started
funny.
getting drunk. Towards the
Right,
end,
but
they all
even
get
still,
extremely
like
funny.
he does so much better in like a different, like the character like almost confined him in this one, and it wasn't good because he just didn't have the ability to be as funny because his character was not supposed to be funny.
I don't know.
for
I
most
think
of for most of the movie.
So in Shaun of the Dead, it's funny like throughout, and I'll agree that this one
Yeah.
isn't as funny towards the beginning. It's more like a character development, like a place setting, and
Right.
kind of
Yeah.
getting you in the mood of like this is just going to be a bar crawl movie. But I love it how in the second half everyone gets drunk and gets silly, and I love it how it turns into a crazy fucking science fiction movie out of absolutely nowhere. I went into this movie like when I first saw it. It could just be because I don't know if you knew that there were going to be robot aliens, or if you just thought. I mean, Hot Fuzz didn't have anything supernatural in it, right?
Mm-mm.
It was just like a cult
It was
or whatever.
cultists. Yeah.
This one is, I think, insane. Like they end the world in this movie. The robot aliens are crazy. The whole idea, like the sci-fi thing where they're trying to get us into a network in space, is pretty
Yeah.
cool.
Mhm.
I like all of that sci-fi stuff, and I like it how it's being driven through this one asshole that somehow turns out to represent the human race because his last name is King, and he's in the right place at the right time or whatever, and he just fucks it
Yeah.
up for all of us because
Yeah, it just didn't do it. Didn't land for me.
yeah.
I know, yeah. It's hard. I think like one thing that's hard is Peg's character was just not as likable. There was an edge to the comedy that he did, or the jokes. Like he was more like Russell Brand at times, almost like just really sort of in your face and not charming. And
Agreed.
I know that's arguably that's maybe what he's going for, but that was what was always sort of, that was what was so good about Shaun of the Dead, and still in Hot Fuzz was just the likability of the characters. In this one, no one likes him. Even throughout the film, none of his buddies like him. They all are just annoyed by him constantly. That sort of makes it a little harder too. Like it's not like there's anybody sees anything endearing about the guy. They're just all like pissed off and annoyed at him, and just getting more so even as they get drunk. I don't know why. I was hoping I'd like to be talked into liking this more, Denny. I thought TC might like it more too, but it just really fell flat for me. And I was like, I was going to do a U from like when we watched Hot Fuzz, be like, I don't know if it's my mood, I don't know what, and just, and with TC getting on this side though, now I might think that
there's more merit. I wouldn't go that far.
I mean, I would love this sort of thing, and I love science fiction. The sort of warmth of the characters that's supposed to be there, it just wasn't there. I mean, it almost sort of comes together for me when you realize when Edgar's character sees his armband and realizes that he's an escaped inpatient.
Edgar and Nick Frost.
Nick Frost. Sorry, Edgar. Edgar is the director.
Yeah.
Nick is the other buddy. Anyway, so when Nick's character sees the armband and realizes that he's an inpatient, and Simon is just like expresses the anguish that he's experiencing.
That's one of my favorite scenes in the movie, when he's like fighting to drink the last pint and everything.
I like almost teared up.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought that was really moving, and then you sort of understand his edge and his tenseness, and how he's not really funny or charming. He's desperate almost. But that's what's weird. That doesn't quite work with the sort of what we've seen so far with the sort of nice whimsical British comedy on top of whatever genre they're like melding into it.
That's why I like it. It's different in that way. It doesn't like that's not part of the trilogy. Like this is the heavy drama in this one is better than even the Shaun of the Dead, which I thought was really good. Like when he has to kill his mother, that was really good.
No, I think that one scene almost redeems the whole movie for me, just because it's really the whole point of this guy is like he doesn't fit. He does not fit in this world, except there's another world he actually could fit in. And there's another kind of time and place where actually his kind of thinking and what he wants to be makes a lot of sense. And maybe it makes a lot of sense when you're in adolescence, and maybe it makes a lot of sense when you're in a post-apocalyptic world.
And you have a little horde of robots behind you in that
you have
scenario.
A little horde of robots behind you, right? So then it's I like the ideas I really like, and that seemed to start coming together in the end when I like Nick Frost's characters. I that's my favorite part, is the very end of the movie. Right after that scene, and then I love Nick Frost's narration, sitting there with his broken glasses, and him. That was when I did laugh out loud. When you see the Cornetto wrapper on the fence,
and he grabs
he's
for
like
it.
all wistful about it.
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty funny, and it was a great way for it to appear there. I don't know. I'm almost talking myself around to it a little bit, but what I missed from it that was still in Hot Fuzz was just the likability of the characters.
I didn't have the likability, as we talked about. Like I didn't like Simon Pegg's character.
Yeah,
and I don't like Simon Pegg in this. Like I wouldn't want to be his friend, obviously, because he's a manipulative piece of shit. But like he's entertaining, and I don't know if he would be a realistic type of person. I feel like these people. He's kind of I don't know. He's an exaggerated kind of person like this.
Yeah,
but I like how there's a lot. He's a deep character, and you can see a lot of different people and traits in him. You know what I mean? Like even in yourself a lot, where, number one, especially just thinking about being younger and wishing that you could go back to when you were younger,
Yeah, I know. I agree. I think looking at it that way, I think it's hard to sort of, and in a way it might be worse watching these one right after the other, because I wasn't ready for I was prepared for the tone to still be the whimsical comedy part, and that wasn't there. And so it made me think the movie wasn't working.
Maybe that's a good point.
So
I had an expectation of comic relief.
Right.
And I didn't get it.
This wasn't that. And then
I was just watching people drink.
Right.
And I was just like, this is no good.
This is like tension. This guy is like really, really fucked up and tortured, actually. And that's actually more what the character is. And I wasn't ready for that. They don't rub it in your face that that's what it is. And even and to its credit, almost, they're not like nobody seems to understand that he's really got deep problems. They just see him as an asshole. You know, they don't really they don't see how much he really is suffering, and you don't really see that until the end.
I mean, you get hints of it, like when he's in one-on-one conversations with people.
Yeah.
Like, what's her name was like, what happened to you? Like halfway through the movie.
Right. He's like, what do you mean? Nothing happened. And you're like, yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, there's places where he's at a loss for words, like a couple times, so that you just see him and you see him thinking a bit. But he's like not wanting
He's still got the stupid car.
Dwell on that shit.
Still got the stupid tape.
Yeah.
You know?
Still got the stupid jacket.
Yeah, he's got a jacket. He's like, move on, bub.
But it's rough to watch because it's just him being abrasive, not really funny, and his friends all hating him.
Agreed.
And it really is. It's just that tone is not what I was like. All right, we're gonna, we just watched Old Boy. I'm gonna sit here and relax. And I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready for that tone.
Not quite.
And I still maybe if I like let it sit for a while and go back and try to approach this is like, no, this isn't going to be like the relaxed kind of comedy. This is really more about a pretty messed up guy who's like trying to find a way to fit and trying to make things work, and that's kind of impressive. And but yeah, it's not. It's just a very different film.
Yeah,
So-
and I'm surprised you guys keep saying not funny, but I thought the second half, and I think it's the second half. It's when basically the aliens come and everyone gets like Nick Frost gets drunk. Like I was
It's a little
laughing.
funny.
I was laughing a
Really?
lot. Yeah,
I
a
wasn't
lot.
laughing there at
I
all.
like once Nick got angry. His character is all angry and militant, and he like breaks the window as he's like leaving the bar.
Walking
and,
out,
like,
yeah.
not- yeah,
because
no,
if we
that's pretty
follow
funny. I
him
wonder-
and no one else has got
I
any
wonder if that
ideas,
was
and-
intended because
Yeah.
When he's like, this is me. And he's like, prove it, show us your arm. And he just goes to a wooden post and starts smashing his head against the post. And you're like, all right, yeah, it's him.
Yeah, it's him.
Yeah, but that was
guy
sad.
was kind of funny.
anyway,
I
that
guess.
was
I
more
don't
sad
know.
when you realize why he didn't show his arm because he's. Why
Got
can't you just
cutter.
cut that off? You could just cut that shit off. You should have cut it off a long time
Well, it was
ago.
the bandages, I think.
Oh, well, I thought it was like he didn't want to. He still had his wristband. Like, why would you not cut that wristband?
No, I thought
off?
it was
That's not
maybe
hard.
because he was a suicide attempt or
Yeah.
something.
I mean, he could have cut the
Oh,
wristband off, but I think that was just for us. He still would have pulled the sleeves up and saw bandages.
The
you know,
cut.
no one wears bandages on their
Oh.
arms, like
Unless they're cutting
they try to
themselves.
kill themselves. You know,
Yeah,
not like
right.
a fashion
Yeah.
thing.
I know the movie. Again,
Well,
to its
it might
credit,
be
the
for
movie
some, I
doesn't
don't
know.
rub
maybe.
it in your
Yeah.
face.
Who
that
knows
this is
these
what's
days?
going on? It
Yeah.
might have helped me if they did, though, to like say
They
look,
weren't very
you know,
obvious about it, to be honest. I only put it
No.
together because, but I wasn't obvious when I was watching it. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I didn't like it. That's all there is to it.
Shit. Ah,
I looked at the numbers. I put like there's actually the -numbers.com with movies, and they actually this is like a link I sent where they show you the gross of the 3 Cornetto movies. And you're right. So yeah, of course you're right, Denny. So yeah, the world's and worldwide.
He
John,
knows
we've
this,
had
right?
200 plus of these episodes. When have I ever been wrong? Come on. I flub the synopsis in the intro, but I'm never fucking wrong. Come on, dude.
Oh, wait a minute. I'm sure that there's been a time.
Did you
I don't
write it
think
down?
there has.
Is there a list?
I'm
Just
totally
a blank
sure.
piece of paper in front of
I'm
you of all
totally
the
sure that
times?
there's been a time that you've been wrong, and we probably fought over it for like 3 hours in an episode before you admitted it, and maybe you never did admit it, which is why you've
If
never
you
wrong
give me
in
a
your own
good link,
mind.
John, I'll immediately
Wait a minute.
concede.
You know
I'm not
what?
going against
You know
the
what?
internet.
You're Simon Pegg's character in this film. You
Yeah,
like
dick.
this. You're
Yeah.
like this.
I
You're
am.
like
You
never
never
wrong,
not wrong.
Uh-huh.
right? Kind of a bully, you
Yeah.
know, kind of abrasive.
Maybe that's why I
Mm.
relate to it so much.
Denny, are you okay?
I can never be wrong, dude. And even
Show
if
us
you,
your sleeve,
even if you
Denny.
prove me wrong,
Denny.
then I'll roll with it and I'll be fine. Like you can't
Yeah.
hurt me. You can't.
All right.
You can't hurt me, except for the fact that you don't like this movie, and that hurts him.
No, I'm good with that. I'm still
Oh.
gonna watch it. It's still my favorite.
So it's
My
still,
fa- the
it still
action-
wasn't, it wasn't
Dude, the
a
action was
failure.
better than either of the other two movies, I thought. The way it looked was better than the other two movies. I like the
Yeah.
music a lot.
Oh, yeah, the music was good. I did like the music.
Yeah.
More Stone Roses there for you. That full
Yeah,
Gold-
they actually
Gold
played a song
you know?
in this one,
Yeah.
as opposed to just mentioning them.
Yeah.
I liked how it moved, despite like the first. We keep talking about how the first half was kind of not funny and boring. I like that whole thing. Like, I guess it goes back to like me enjoying the characters. Like even Nick Frost's character, I like seeing him do something different. You know, like sometimes trilogies they try to hit the exact same beats or whatever. The characters do the exact same things.
Right.
Look at like the Hangover movies, like they're 3 of the same movies and everyone plays the same characters. The scenarios are all the same. The tone is the same and they just get worse
Sure.
and worse because why would you remake a movie 2 times? You know what I mean?
Right.
But I think that might be one of the portions. I mean, the sci-fi stuff, I think, is the reason I like this movie the most, because it comes out of nowhere, I think, and they don't set it up at all. There's no real hints, like Shaun of the Dead. You kind of get hints. I mean, the intro is like a bunch of people walking like zombies. So even if it wasn't called Shaun of the Dead, you still would know it was probably going to be about zombies within the first 4 minutes.
True.
Right.
But this one, you might not know.
Don't.
Unless
I didn't know. I wasn't expecting it. Yeah.
And I mean, was that a shocking moment? I remember being in the theater and
No,
watching
it turned
them.
me off. I was like, oh, that's what this
Really?
is fucking movie? Yeah, right.
That turned me like on. Like that was like, damn it. Why'd you have to say turn me off, TC?
Because it was working. It worked out perfectly.
That made it work even more for
Got
me.
him
I was
turned
like,
on and-
yes.
He's all fired up in the theater. Yeah. Oh, look at him go. Oh, he's such an asshole. I love when he's such an asshole. I mean, for me, Denny, just to stop you right there just for a second, it's the fact that I wasn't expecting it to be a zombie movie. I think maybe that, I think John nailed it. I had so many expectations of going into this one because we're watching all three.
Mm-hmm.
And since I walked into the movie and then it was the first hour of it not being a zombie movie, I was like, oh, cool. This is like another movie. It's a third movie. And then it turned into the first one, except worse. So, but it's funny that like you had the exact, like, I think basically you could lose or keep an audience right there. Right?
Yeah, no doubt. Cause I mean, it's definitely a left
It's
turn.
such a switch.
Yeah.
It's like it flips a switch and you're either on board or you're not.
And it's not like a left turn, like say in Parasite, where I think if you were into the movie at that point, you're going to follow along with it. This one's kind of like, do you like sci-fi or not? Do you like weird fighting scenes or not? Like,
right.
We're doing something completely different now. That seems like a different tone of movie.
Yes.
Yeah. But I kind of like that because I don't know. I can't think of any other movie that does that, where it's just like normal people doing normal shit. And then all of a sudden, halfway through, out of absolutely nowhere, aliens that are trying to take over the world. Yeah. I'm not sure how much more I can ramble on the movie. Gary King is the best character in the Cornetto trilogy. He's the best character.
Really?
I think so.
What? That's a fucking bold statement. How dare you?
Wow.
He's I mean, nobody in Hot Fuzz I thought was a good character. Shaun of the Dead, they were all funny and likable.
I like Peg's character in Hot Fuzz. I liked him.
I didn't.
Oh, yeah. I liked him.
He was boring and flat, and it's better when he is bad at
He was
things.
boring and flat in that.
He's good and he's serious in that movie. Like he's good at his job and he's serious. In Shaun of the Dead, he's lazy and
But he's funny.
And he's
funny.
funny.
He's quirky.
He's quirky. And this one,
he's likable.
He's a very flawed human being. He's
in this one, he's the annoying friend that everyone's had at some point in their life that no longer speaks to that person.
Yes.
So, I mean, I don't know. I don't know how likable that is, really.
Yeah. I don't know.
Denny loves those people, apparently.
I just like the way he acts it, man. Honestly, I'm trying to think of like the funniness is what carried you both through the first two, and the likability.
Yeah.
I think this one's funny. The likability definitely isn't there. But I like watching Simon Pegg act this character more than probably any parts of the other movies, besides maybe the comedy of Shaun of the Dead. I like Simon Pegg a lot because of this movie.
From Peter to play.
I think this is the best I've ever seen him act.
Yeah.
Is this movie?
I see your points. I
do.
said,
I
it's
see
it's just this weird thing of expectations, and
Yeah.
I think it just. I picked these because I wanted to relax and have laughs, and this movie is not that. This movie, I mean, there's the science fiction fun parts, but it's still really dark. Gary King's character is a really, really dark character, so I don't know. I think that's just what. And maybe that again.
I'm surprised because
should
after Old Boy, this is not that dark at all.
No, I know.
That was way
worse.
worse.
You're right. That's true. But
But compared to the other two of this trilogy, that it is.
This is a different kind of suffering that you can relate to in kind of an uncomfortable way. I mean, this is more regular kind of suffering where you're just not what you thought you'd be, or you may have had aspirations of who you were or what you were going to do when you were young, and then you get older and those things don't materialize. And it seems like it's such a I don't know. That's sort of a different kind of uncomfortable subject as opposed to, being in prison for 15 years and being hypnotized into sleeping with your daughter.
That's such
different,
a
different
That should
thing.
be the synopsis.
Cutting off your own tongue.
Just give it all away, just because
that would
nobody
be
ever
great.
watches
I would love.
it.
I would love IMDb synopsis of Old Boy that says after being in prison for 15 years.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right.
A
You
man
get
is
hypnotized and have
to
sex
sleep
with
with
your
his daughter
What
and
do you
cuts
think?
off his tongue, and the guy who imprisoned him kills himself.
Right. Runtime 90 minutes. Yeah. Right.
That's right. And there's a great hallway fight scene.
Yeah.
And you may or may not watch a tooth get ripped out of someone's head.
Oh, right. There's also there's
right.
an impressive tooth extraction scene and an impressive
a whole
hallway
new
fight
definition
scene.
to long in the tooth.
Yes. Oof.
That's basically all I have to say on the movie itself.
Okay.
Sure.
John, did you have any reading this week?
I like skimmed through the script, but the script was pretty much on with the film. All I've got the listing of the all the different bars and their names and how why they're named what they are, because they all mean something.
Oh, nice. Yeah, they
when
talked
were
about
there.
that in the commentary tracks.
So that's all. I can review that. That's from the there's the Cornetto wiki. This is the Blood and Ice Cream Trilogy wiki that's online.
Blood and Ice Cream Trilogy?
Yeah. That's all I got, though. I tried to look around.
You want to do it?
It's a bit
Let's
hard.
do it.
What? Oh, you can go through them? So,
Yeah.
So you have the first post. That's obvious.
What were you just going
right?
to tell us that you had the information and you weren't going to
Yeah,
share
and then
it with
move
us?
right on, so we could skip
Well,
right
I don't
along.
know.
Yeah.
Let's save it for later.
Well, I mean,
Yeah, I have that info.
well,
It's not that exciting. So.
Save it for later. When's later, John? We're getting
All right,
close
no,
to the
it's
end of the
all right
episode.
I thought you had all kinds of good stuff for us, Denny.
Do we talk about the action? I thought the action was, again, better than the other two movies.
I thought it was good. It was choreographed well, as I said. Yeah. There was more like individual actors. Like the fight scenes were kind of extended. It's sort of different than like even like with the zombie scenes. It's like some mobile people versus like a bunch of zombies. That's like a different kind of choreography versus like highly mobile drunk people versus highly mobile robots. So,
And I don't know. I think it comes through once it's pointed out. They actually used for most of the stunts the real actors. They talked about it a lot during the first bathroom fight scene. And if you do that, you can apparently keep their attitudes as characters during the fight scene, and it makes the fight more relatable. And you can do like more character-based moves during a fight scene, which makes it more interesting. Most of the time when they do fight scenes, they just use stunt doubles for like any of the big action shots. But you really got Martin Freeman like being shoved through a bathroom door, and all the actors like flying around the space and throwing dummies all over the place.
yeah, I like Martin. He's another very
Funny,
likable
though,
guy,
yeah.
no matter what. But he was pretty funny and I did laugh again at the scene at the end where he's like he only has half a head.
This is a
And he's
soccer
still
ball with
doing
the
real
eyes
estate.
painted on.
Yeah,
It's fucking
and he's
hilarious.
still like he
Walks
bumps
into the wall.
into the door. Yeah. All right, that was pretty funny.
Ish.
Ish. TC's
Ish.
just in a bad mood, or
No, I'm
Talking
not.
about
It's just a bad
expectations.
movie.
That's not.
Good
movie.
No.
But it is. I was honestly confused because this movie has a lower rating on IMDb and made less money and all that stuff. So,
Yes, you're on an island, my friend.
I am. I'm on an island with
Yeah.
some people, but it's not as packed
Yeah,
as the
the
Shaun of the
dark
Dead or Hot
humor
Fuzz
people.
Islands.
Those
Yeah.
dark
This
humor
movie
folk.
still, I mean, it still got good reviews and I mean, it still made money. It wasn't like a bomb or anything like that either compared to its
True.
budget. So
Well, I don't
Somebody
know.
went to see it.
Depends.
What?
Depends how much they spend on advertising and stuff. Usually you
Oh,
double the
advertising
budget
and stuff?
for, yeah.
yeah.
So if the budget's 20 million, you double it for $20 million in advertising as well.
Oh, really?
So
Okay.
it made 46.1, so they probably eked out a profit on it. That's good.
Yeah, that's fair.
And that's
I don't
not
know
counting DVD
I guess
sales
when
and
when they
stuff?
talk about, I guess, they say production budget. That doesn't include advertising or anything like
No,
that.
that's
Right.
just the
That's
making
just
of
the
the
shooting, yeah.
Shooting, yeah.
Shooting,
I don't
editing.
remember if they did a lot of advertising for World's End.
Oh, they had a marketing budget, I'm sure, and a PR
yeah.
budget and the whole thing.
I saw it in the theaters. I'm not sure why.
No, I
forget
did. I saw it too, and I remember feeling.
That must have been
now
pretty
that I
good.
Think about it.
Like the
Kind of the
marketing,
same
the
thing.
marketing must have been pretty good if we both went to see
Yeah,
it.
that's true. That's true.
I would think. I don't know. I've
Because by then I'd seen Hot Fuzz, and so I was
So did
like,
I,
oh
yeah.
these guys, yeah.
and I think Scott Pilgrim came out before this too. And that might have been the reason why I went to the theater to see this one. When did Scott Pilgrim
Oh.
come out? Yeah, 2010. So we did Hot Fuzz and then Scott Pilgrim and then The World's End. So I love Scott
okay.
Pilgrim. I think that movie's better than all these movies.
Whoa,
Ooh, that's not a stretch, is it? The movie's great.
I don't remember.
It's interesting.
Oh, interesting. Oh, we're not going to watch that one.
It's interesting. It fell flat.
It's interesting.
It's
Sounds like it
entertaining,
fell
though.
flat.
It did okay, didn't it? Too. I mean, it's certainly. I think it was like at the very least, like it certainly has its fans.
Let's see. Budget of 85 million, box office 49 million. That's not good.
That's
Ooh.
not good.
That
That's
was a
not
flop.
good.
Flop, flop, flop.
Jeez, what's going on, Edgar Wright?
Well, Baby Driver was his biggest growth. I
Because
remember
freaking
reading.
you got what's his name in there? Kevin Spacey.
Yeah, Kevin Spacey. But Jamie Foxx, or was it 2 maybe? Or who was it?
You got John Hamm in there and Jamie Foxx. Yeah.
Yep.
He's got a new one coming out.
Yeah, he does.
It was supposed to come out like during the pandemic, but it was one of the ones that got pushed back, probably waiting for theaters to get open again. Wouldn't that be nice? Last Night in Soho. It's coming out in October. This is good. All this is good. This is all staying in.
It's all
staying in.
good.
It's all just a bit very low key.
So I think,
Just
John,
a
I think now would be
bomb.
an appropriate time for you to go through the bar names and
All right.
why they're named that.
So again, this is all credit to the Blood and Ice Cream wiki online. So we have the first post, right? Obvious.
Mhm.
First one. That's easy. The Old Familiar, because he runs into Sam. Then he tries to follow her into the bathroom and gets smacked in the face. That's just kind of uncomfortable.
Funny. I thought it was funny.
Yeah. The Famous Cock, meaning that's the place where he's banned. Gary's got his picture up there. So they're not allowed to go in there because he is famous.
And he's a dick.
Right.
And he's a dick.
Right.
Yeah. Got it.
So far, so
Clever.
good. All these check out.
Clever.
Yep.
Clever.
Right.
Yep.
The cross hands, that's where they have their first fight with the robots in the bathroom. So cross hands. The Good Companions is next. So that's where Andy abandons his sobriety. And that's where they kind of like come together a little bit. The Trusty Servant is where they find Gary's old drug dealer, who turns out to be the working with the bad guys. So
everyone's kind of working with the bad guys if they're living in that town.
Well, yeah, right. But that was sort of the theme there. And then the Two-Headed Dog. Let's see.
See if we can guess on this one. Two-headed dog.
Yeah, that's the the twins.
Oh, is it the twins? Okay, that's where they fight the twins. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. This all checks out.
Yeah.
Right.
I didn't pick up on any of it.
No.
But sure.
The Mermaid that's when we have the woman robots that attempt to seduce the men there.
Yes.
That was sort of, that went on a long time.
Marmalade pie or whatever it's called.
Yeah. Sure. Yep.
The Beehive. Let's see. That's when they meet their
That's
former
Pierce Brosnan
high
lives
school
there, and he's
teacher.
a bee. He's a alien bee.
I'm not sure why that one's. How does that work with the Beehive? Oh, he's just like
It's where they congregate. It's like the hive. It's where the robots are.
Oh.
And he's the queen
Clever.
bee. He's literally supposed to be the queen bee in that situation. Pierce Brosnan is.
Got it.
Kind of a stretch. Some of them are stretches.
and
They
then-
talked about these in the commentary tracks too.
The King's Head. That one is where Gary ends up banging, and it's not in that bar, but shortly after, that's when he bangs his head against the wall.
Wikipedia is wrong. That's not what they said in the commentary track.
Oh, what did they say in the commentary?
That's where it's where Gary is doing his own thing and he kind of talks to himself and you get inside his own. That's the one where he is brought in unconscious and gets up and like starts drinking a beer and then starts kind of doing a little monologue to himself about why he's doing what he's doing. So you get inside of his head.
Right. Okay. The hole in the wall. Steven crashes the car into the wall there on that one. So that was
Literal hole in the
easy
wall.
one.
Right.
Yep.
And then the World's End, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
That's when the whole
That's when the ball of fire comes
alien
and-
argument happens.
Yeah.
Did you recognize the girl in the beginning when Simon Pegg was in the whatever therapy circle he was in? To his right, our left, the actress.
No.
She was the first zombie in Shaun of the Dead. She was the one who gets impaled by the thing in their backyard.
Oh,
towards
the one
the
who's in
beginning.
the backyard?
Yeah.
Oh, they brought her
Same
back,
actress.
did they?
They did.
And he's like trying to rewind the camera and he smacks it out of his hand.
Oh,
Those were good times. That was funny.
Those are
good
funny.
movies, weren't they? That was
Those
fun.
are funny times. That was funny.
It was
so funny.
The younger versions of the characters, they shot for like 3 weeks before the principal photography started. And they also had to be there every day during the normal shoot because they shot the 3 weeks were all outdoor shots of them running through town. Then they also had to be there every day for the bar scene and interior shoots because they also had little parts where they were in the same interior places. So they hung around all day, every day, for much longer than everybody else and then for like in lunch breaks, they would shoot the kids or like after the day where the famous people shot, they would shoot the kids late at night.
That must have been
Like shoot them in the head type shit.
They ripped their head off.
Kill the kids. They killed the
rip
kids.
their arm off and you smash the head with the arm.
It's a whole different movie.
Did you notice when Martin Freeman becomes the robot?
Was it? He goes to the bathroom,
No.
right? That's
Yeah.
when he like leaves to the bathroom.
Yeah, and when he comes
And
out,
he comes back all happy.
he's all clean, and his
Yeah.
his Bluetooth thing is beeping the entire time when he's a robot, because the idea there
because
is
he
he's
doesn't know to pick it up.
Well, he's being fed information from the alien hive mind, is what they
Oh,
intended.
wow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, all the aliens were blue and green clothing. They all wore it. And everything, like there was a lot of blue and green themes where there's a lot of recycling bins in this movie and they're all blue or green. And the idea is that when, the humans get turned into mulch and they throw them away, maybe into the
Nice.
bin.
I see.
Yes. Martin Freeman's kid counterpart had a false nose on, and it when Martin Freeman saw it, he got very upset because he had
That's
no
funny.
idea that his face would need
Oh,
a
fake
little
nose.
extra nose for some other actor. It's like, it's
Right.
not that big, is it? It is.
It's
Fuck.
pretty big.
Does he have a big nose? I didn't notice.
It's
I don't
not
really
that
see him
big.
as
Yeah, but
like
it's
oddly nosed.
yeah. It's not the feature
My
you'd say. I mean, he has a
nose,
pretty
my
unique
nose.
face, though. I don't know.
Oh
He
yeah,
does.
yeah.
He does.
But I don't really think of his nose. I just think of like he just looks so friendly. I don't know.
It was Jim Halpert on
Did
The
you
Office.
ever see the
UK,
Sherlock Holmes, the BBC? Because that's where
Yeah.
I first saw him. Where
Yeah,
he's
he was good
Watson.
in that.
He was good.
He's amazing in there. Yeah,
Yeah.
He was good as Bilbo, despite those movies not being so good.
yeah, he definitely was.
I mean, he
agree.
was Jim Halpert, but for the
I
UK
never saw
office.
the UK Office. Never.
Oh yeah, he was Jim.
Oh.
He was perfect for that. Think about it. He
that
does
makes
that.
sense. Yeah,
Yeah, all
yeah.
that shit. Jim Halpert got all his acts from him.
He just stared at the camera. He's like, oh.
Oh my god! The whole literally every time. Yeah, he would just look at the camera and then make that stupid quirky face he makes, and he literally. I think Jim Halpert there, Jack Ryan there, copied him big time.
And what do you think? You think Jack Ryan's making more money than Bilbo Baggins himself?
I don't know. Maybe
Hard
not.
to say. I mean,
Hard to say.
Bilbo,
'cause-
he's been in a lot. He was in he's
Yeah.
also makes appearances in the Avenger films. Freeman does.
He's been in a lot more than
So,
I think
yeah.
the other
Yeah.
one has. But I don't know. I could be wrong.
They called him half Bilbo throughout the commentary tracks because he loses half of his head towards the end of the movie.
Yeah.
They call him half
Yep.
Bilbo.
nice.
They had to write a letter to the UK editorial board or something. I forget what they called it, but they had to ask them how many times you could say the C word. I guess we're in the
Interesting.
United States, so I'm not going to test my luck with that one. But they said it once in Shaun of the Dead. They said it once and had it once written in Hot Fuzz. So they wanted to fill it up and increase it. Apparently the limit is 5. They wrote back a nice letter being like,
There's a limit.
You can use it 5 times as long as you don't use it in a sexual manner. You can't use it once if you use it in a sexual manner.
That's interesting.
So
Hmm.
weird.
Mhm.
It's like SAP guidelines, but for Brits.
Edgar Wright created Let's Boo Boo. That whole backstory about Let's Boo Boo and how there was a math class with that saying
Yeah.
about the bear. That was just
Oh,
from
nice.
Edgar Wright's
Okay.
childhood. They storyboarded all the scenes with special effects and then they priced them out. They kind of put a price tag on every single shot they needed, and then they constructed the budget from that. So they kind of pick and chose.
Yeah.
Pick and I don't know. That's a good question.
Picked and chosen.
Chosen.
Picked and chose.
They picked and chosen.
Picking and chosen.
Which shots they wanted. So they kind of mix and matched with price tags, kind of like a little, I don't know, weird puzzle, keeping it under a budget, but also constructing a cohesive action scene, which probably happens a lot, but I've never heard of that before. So I thought that was kind of interesting. Did either of you know why they hit the hairdryer when they start fighting people, the aliens?
No.
No.
Why? I didn't notice that and thought it odd.
Yeah, it's according to Edgar Wright, who wrote the script, it was so that if someone from out of town was in the pub or whatever, the fighting would be obscured by the sound of the hand dryer.
Oh, by the okay.
Yeah.
That's
Unclear,
fair.
but I guess that makes sense.
Good tip to keep in mind. Good thing to should you ever try to engage in a brawl and want to keep it quiet.
Hair dryer.
So remember when we talked about Shaun of the Dead and Army of Darkness and Evil Dead?
Yes.
The cinematographer of this movie, Bill Pope, was a cinematographer on Army of Darkness.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. And he was also the cinematographer on The Matrix.
Also cool.
Also very
So,
cool.
yeah.
Simon Pegg broke his hand during the filming of this movie. Yeah,
Ah.
the shot is in the movie. It's when he's
Hitting
jumping.
the wall.
No, it's when he's jumping over the bar. Like there's one bar and he
Oh,
just
yeah.
leaps over, and his hand got caught on something. Like it pulled his fingers back in a weird way and ended up breaking the bones in his hand.
Ouch.
The shot is in the movie.
Ouch.
If you
Ugh.
watch he jumps over lots of bars in this movie. So I
Yeah.
Actually, don't know how to describe which one it is, but it's in the movie. So if you
I
watch
do
the
enjoy
commentary,
the jumping over hedges and fences shots in all three of these
I think
movies.
they're pretty funny.
It is funny.
Yeah.
It's a nice callback to see, they're going to jump over some fences now and somebody's going to fall over. It's good.
So this is kind of a fun story. We just watched Akira. Simon Pegg and Edgar Wright were both at the premiere of Akira in Bristol in 1989. Separately, they were at the same opening night of Akira at the same theater before they knew each other. And they learned about it like much later on, I guess, when they were talking about what movies they had seen and good experiences or whatever. And they both realized that they were in the same theater together. It's kind of a little coincidence
cool.
there. Yeah. The last scene where Simon Pegg was clean shaven was because that was shot later on as a kind of like redo, and he was already shooting another movie. So they considered putting a fake beard on him, but then they're like, maybe he's, cleaning up his life. They kind of justified the clean shavenness to themselves and for the character for that last scene. That's all I got. I think that's more commentary than the other ones, and I think it was because they were getting tired of fucking around with each other, is what it sounded like. Yeah.
We're just going to give some details at this point.
I think they recorded them all in succession 6 days after this movie premiered, after The World's End premiered. They did 4 for Shaun of the Dead, 5 for Hot Fuzz, and then 3 for this one.
They were out of they were out of material.
They were out. So maybe that's kind of how the budget went too, or how the box office went.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe everybody was getting a little tired.
Yeah, much like this
Much
podcast.
like John, TC, you're feeling right now.
Yeah. Huh?
Just for comparison, The World's End had a budget of $20 million and made $46 million, and Shaun of the Dead had a $6 million budget and made $30 million. I guess that's kind of comparative. But $6 million,
good.
$6 million for $30 million is pretty damn good.
Yeah, that's damn good.
Yeah.
5X? Shit. Wish you got that in stocks.
You got to get into that Dogecoin, TC.
Fuck the Dogecoin.
Get in the Dogecoin, TC. Buy the dip, TC. Yep. Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Oh, so you guys ready for this?
What?
Are you ready for this? I'm ready
Top
for this.
250.
Top 250 on this one.
No.
Yeah, I'd probably say no. I will say no.
I might go no, too.
Just because it's his favorite doesn't mean
But I
it's got
appreciate
top
it.
250 worthy.
Yeah.
I don't think this movie
is all my
gonna...
fault. I suggested we watch these, so this is all my fault.
Yeah, thanks,
You can be upset with me.
John. Jeez.
John.
Sorry.
This is almost as bad as watching Hotel Mumbai from
Denny up
TC.
for, yeah,
Made me feel
setting Denny up for failure
Yeah,
right here.
That means I get to recommend one pretty soon.
Yeah,
And I got just the one.
I think you're up. I don't know unless TC's always can recommend.
I haven't
some
put
more,
any
so.
thought into it. What else?
Give
is
it a
there?
little think.
Yeah. So what's up, Denny? What were you gonna say?
I was going to say next week we're going to watch Princess Mononoke from 1997.
Oh, nice.
What
Okay.
the hell is that?
It's a Studio Ghibli epic fantasy movie.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm into that. I like those.
This movie is rated PG-13. I think it's the first non-children. It's not for children.
Better not be dark, Denny.
It's not light.
It's not light. Oh, great.
So this is a Hayao Miyazaki movie. The synopsis is, on a journey to find the cure for Tatarigami's curse, Ashitaka finds himself in the middle of a war between the forest god Tatara, a mining colony. In the quest, he also meets San, the Mononoke Hime.
Huh.
I've
Well
seen this
done.
multiple times, and I don't know what most of that means. That's okay. We'll figure it out next week.
Hey, I think the Ghibli movies are mostly available for streaming on HBO Max now, too.
Oh, and Disney Plus too, right? Or no,
Good to know.
actually, they lost
No. I think it's
Good to
HBO
know.
Max where you can see them.
Sweet.
Interesting.
I'm looking forward to
All
this.
right.
Yeah, it'll be good.
Yeah.
I haven't seen one for a while. We still at least have Grave of the Fireflies.
And
is this
Spirited
our
Away.
second to last? And 2 more.
2 more.
So this is our last of the 3.
And this is the second to last Miyazaki one. Grave of the Fireflies was directed by
Okay.
somebody else.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
That's that.
good times.
We'll watch that one. Sweet.
Yeah.
Thanks,
All
guys.
right.
Thanks,
See you guys later.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, it was fun.
It was good.
Yeah, it was a quote unquote fun.
It was something. That's
It
for
was
sure.
something.
Yeah, it's always
Hey.
something.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, guys.
See you next week.
Talk to you guys next
See
week.
ya.